I might be in and out of this video, because I have really disobedient kids this morning, and they don't want to listen. They're all over the place. Today's been a really bad day. Not even day, it's just been like it hasn't been a bad morning. It's just been really like, the kids have just been crazy. So I literally just ate breakfast at 11:30. And I just got my makeup done at like 15-20 minutes prior to that. So I have lots to do today, and my kids are just, and now my respite worker that works with my son is questionable right now. I don't know if he's going to show up, and he's been driving me nuts because he's been like asking me to schedule him for more days, and then I do, and then he doesn't want to show up for work, and I'm like, what? So he's been confusing the crap out of me. It's definitely a 2-cupper day for coffee today. So anyways, I did this whole video like a couple of days ago, but I ended up uploading a little mukbang, and then while that was uploading, I did the video, but then I deleted it because the lighting was really bad in it. It was a really cloudy day, and I wasn't feeling like up to par for the video. I was just like, I wasn't really feeling it, and I didn't like the way I was dressed in it. I hate the sweater that I'm wearing in my mukbang video, but it is what it is. So, because I usually dress like this, like I wear like my t-shirts and I wear like my leggings and stuff, but that day I had a school event that I was going to, so I was trying to look appropriate. And then I showed up to the school event, and like all the parents that were there, they were dressed like slobs. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, they were there in slippers, they were there in their pajamas, hair was all messed up, the women looked like hell. They were like wearing sandals with socks, and like it was horrible. And I was like, what the? My kids are going to a new school this year. They're in a completely different area. We moved, and so the school that they used to go to last year, they're not able to go to this year because it's completely out of their area. I don't understand it. I don't really get it, because we're still in the same school district, but we're not in the same school area. Like, they have different areas for each school. It's way too hard to explain. I don't get it, but I don't know. So they're in a new school this year, and it's different. The school's just very different. They're more laid back, but it's a very beautiful school. I will give it that. It's very clean. It's very organized. They kind of kept an old school feel to it. It even has like the post at the top where the bell used to be. I don't think the bell's there anymore, but it's made of brick. It's just a very beautiful school. And on the outside, it looks larger than it is on the inside. It's actually kind of quaint and tiny. It's not like that big. So yeah, so that was fun. I had to go to that, and I was really disappointed in like all the other parents. So I kind of overdressed, but whatever. That's just me. Anyway, so I did this whole entire video, and then like I said, I deleted it because I didn't like the way I was dressed, and I didn't like the whole atmosphere of the video. It was too dark, and it was just like, so, but now, by the time I'm making this video, I'm about ready to go into my ovulatory phase, but I'm still going to talk about the follicular phase because why not? I'm exiting it right now, and I'm about ready to hit the next section of my cycle, but why not? So the follicular phase is the phase that happens after your menstrual cycle ends, and they call this part spring. And the reason why they call it the spring phase is because everything is a fresh start. My kids are going to be in and out of this video because that's what they're doing today. So where's your brother?
Over at the swings.
Okay.
When is Jake here?
He's going to be here in 55 minutes.
55 minutes.
He just texted me.
Okay.
So it's fresh, it's new, everything's, you're starting over again. You get another chance. And that's what happens every single month. You get another chance. You get a second chance. You get another chance. It just continues to keep happening over and over through your whole entire menstrual cycle. So this phase I like, and a lot of women say it too, is that this is their favorite phase. And the reason why is because you have so much energy. Like, you have you can take on the world. Like you feel like you can do so much and get so much accomplished, and you're more clear-headed, you're more steady. With me though, and this can happen, sometimes it happens, I get so much energy that it kind of, because your estrogen is starting to rise, I start to get anxiety, and it can cause me to have an anxiety disorder. I start to kind of just like, I start to feel on edge, or I start to feel, I can easily get burnt out. Like by the end of the day, I start to just get like really burnt out, because my mind is moving so fast and it wants to get a lot of things done, which I do. I usually during this cycle, I do get stuff done. I will get bills taken care of. Like right now today, I have like a bunch of stuff that I have to do for school for my kids, and I'm glad I'm in this phase right now because this is the time to get that stuff done. But like I said, I'm slowly moving into the ovulatory phase, and it can make you, I'm not going to talk about that right now because that's the next video, so I'm not going to talk about that. Today we're talking about follicular. The other thing with the follicular phase is that, like I said, it's the step before you hit the ovulatory phase. Towards the end of your follicular phase, you have to be very careful.
What's the shoots?
Right there. You have to be very careful because you can get pregnant. Now, just because you're in the follicular phase does not mean that you can't. Don't think that you're good and everything's fine. No, you can actually have ovulation towards the end of this phase. I know that I do. So I start to develop symptoms. I'm trying to focus on this phase right now. 3 more days until school starts. That's what I just keep on like. You're very creative. You're very ambitious. You're very, if you're at work, you're at the top of your class. Like you are getting shit done. You really don't, the thing is, I've noticed with me too, I'm not as sensitive. I don't really give a crap about other people's emotions. I don't really give a crap about, I'm not very empathetic. I'm so focused on myself, which sounds horrible. They call this the selfish phase, that I don't really care about other people. I don't really care about other people's emotions and feelings and everything else. I'm really just trying to get shit done. Because in my mind, the other thing is too, I know that the next phase ain't that great. For me, it's usually around the time that PMDD starts back up again. So I'm like, ugh. I try to get everything done right now while I'm clear-headed and I'm making logical, realistic thoughts. Because once I hit the PMDD stage, that's gone. I start to just get really weepy. I'm crying all the time. My anxiety kicks up. I'm all over the place. I'm not really with it. And it sucks. So I'm right now, for example, this happened this happened actually last weekend. Something really stupid happened. So I was a platinum blonde and I had very blonde hair. And my husband, he really wanted me to go back to he wanted me to be a redhead. And I'm like, I kind of like held it off for a really long time. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then my period started and I started to feel kind of chill. And I was like, you know what, now would be a good time to do it because I'm at the beginning of a brand new cycle. I'm starting over again. Let's give it a shot. And the sun just went behind the clouds. But so I bought this red hair color. It was like a copperish red. I put it on my hair. Don't know how this happened, but it literally went from blonde to an ombre brown. It was like dark brown up here, and then it was like a light brown down here. How do we get brown out of red? It was like an auburn color. It was like an auburn red, but to me, it just looked like brown. It was just like a brownish tone. It was actually very close to my natural hair color. But anyways, bottom line is, I hated it. So I gave my hair a break for about 4 days because you're supposed to take breaks in between. This turned into a hair coloring video. And I ended up going out and buying Color Oops, about 2 boxes of Color Oops. I stripped it, and I stripped my hair probably about, I want to say about 3 days ago. I think I did it on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. So it was, yeah, it was, because I remember I was totally bored that day. So that was, so yeah, that was 4 days ago I stripped it. The bad thing is with Color Oops is that as the days pass, your hair will start to get darker if you don't do anything to it. It'll start to just like the hair molecules, the hair coloring molecules will start to get bigger and bigger, and then your hair will start to get darker and darker. Now, what I've been told and what I've read about Color Oops is that if you rinse it very well, that usually doesn't happen. Well, I did. I rinsed it very well. I shampooed it. I did all the instructions, and now this happened. So when I first started, it was blonde again. Now it's like a dishwater blonde. That's the only thing I'm happy about is that. So anyways, my point is I'm trying to go back to blonde, and now is the perfect time for me to do it because I have, the creativity to get this stuff done and to really focus on what I'm doing. That's the other thing too with the follicular phase, that you really do have good focus. You do have an eye for detail. The other day I cleaned like my whole entire house. I put up my autumn decorations. I was getting her done. Like I was doing it all. And even like if the smallest thing bothers me, like if a little petty thing happens, I just easily brush it off. Like I can just move on. And that's the thing in the follicular phase. Like I said, you don't really have a lot of empathy for things. You don't stay dwelling on bad things. You kind of are just like, it happened, let's move on. And you're on to the next thing. I am very energetic during this phase. Even if I haven't got a lot of sleep, I'm still like the next day, I'm usually like still really energetic. Bad thing with that is that it starts to affect my blood sugar. That is the one thing that you want to watch out for when you're in this phase. Because you're so energetic and because you're constantly doing stuff, you really don't have that much of an appetite to begin with during this phase. I know that I don't. I'll forget to eat. Like I said, I just ate my breakfast at 11:45 because I was too busy running around the house. Now onto the appetite of the follicular phase. So during spring, what do we usually eat during spring? We eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of light things. We don't eat like a lot of heavy stuff that we ate in the fall or in the winter. We eat, so with me, the things that I usually eat to get me through this phase, I'm still eating, but yet I'm still like able to keep going. Boiled eggs, shrimp, things that are easy to just digest, salads. I absolutely love salads during this phase. It is like so delicious because it's normal. That's what I'm supposed to be eating. Citrusy things like tangerines, lemons. I'm really into citrus. Strawberries, raspberries, light colored foods and light foods. Like I don't eat heavy stuff. Boiled chicken. I like to eat boiled chicken a lot. Nothing heavy. Like last night we ended up having spaghetti for dinner and it was so gross. Like my body was like, sis, no, we're not craving this right now. And I'm not supposed to be eating, and I'm not craving hamburger right now and beans. Like my body's like, sis, no, we're not eating this right now. The other thing that you want to watch out for is digestive issues. You can have diarrhea during this phase a lot because you're constantly busy and you're doing a lot of stuff. Your whole body's going through it right now. You got to watch what you eat because you can get a lot of digestive problems. With me, I get diarrhea. I usually will get diarrhea during this phase, and it sucks because I also get dehydrated. Uptake your water during this phase because you're going to sweat a lot. You're going to be moving around. Uptake your water. Don't do what I do and not drink water because by the end of the day, I get lightheaded. I start to not feel well. I had that happen yesterday. I felt like shit by like 12:30, 1 o'clock. I was shaky. I was like going through it. I got scared. I was like, oh my God. I started just eating like random stuff just to like get my energy back up. Again, I was eating all the wrong stuff. Horrible thing to do. So, and the thing is with me, like I said, I'm moving into my ovulatory phase. So I'm starting to crave things that I usually would eat during that phase. But mostly right now, it's just follicular phase stuff, like really light. So there's that. So that's your diet usually during this phase, very light. Yoga, exercise, now is the time to really go for it. Like the other day I ran and my body was craving to run. Like my body was like, let's do this. Bam. You're charged up. Your batteries are charged. You are ready to go. sitting is not cool. Like, this is driving me nuts right now. I'm like, my mind's going a million miles in direction, like different directions right now. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here in a few minutes, but energetic, energized, light diet, things like that. It is a springtime event during this cycle, and it is fun. So let's just say that. All right, that's the end of this video. I don't want it to be too long. So peace out. I will talk to y'all again in the next video, which will be the ovulation phase.